Hi, I'm Pam Hayes from Hayes Sewing Machine Company. Welcome back. We're going to talk about today a 3-yard quilt, and it's going to be done out of the Easy Does It, and the one that we're going to be doing is Best Friends. Oh, isn't that cute? All right, so basically, easy quilt to do. There are 2 blocks that you need to work with. The first one is going to be a 4-patch. So really nice and simple to do. And then the second one is going to be the star. So at that point, let's get going. So the first thing we're going to talk about today, we're going to do the 4-patch. Sorry. And we're going to, I'm just popping my 1/4-inch foot on. So with the 4-patch, you have 2 different fabrics. We have a grunge today that we're going to be working with, and then a nice cheery spring print. You want to line them up right sides together, and we're going to take and we are going to tell the machine what foot I have on. And we're going to line up and we're going to sew at our 1/4 inch. So again, we're going to get this lined up. Alrighty. We're going to head over to the ironing board and we're going to press towards the peach in this case. Alrighty. Now, poor Loretta, she's going to get her workout today. We're going to come over and we're going to do a 5-inch segment. So when we have cut this, now do yourself a favor to get yourself nice and straight. Look at one of the lines on your ruler and you're going to line up in the seam. We're going to take and we're going to do 5 inches. That looks pretty good. And 5-inch for this. Now, I'm just showing you one block. Remember, you're going to be doing this for bigger. You know, you're going to have a lot more strips.
Loretta's trying to do a quick count, but she can't do it.
12.
12.
I love that. There you go. Yeah, so you're going to have 12 of these.
I cannot handle the camera and count the blocks.
All right. So now, because we have put this to the darker, and when we line this up, it should automatically, the seam allowances are going to be shifted for you. So at this point, we're going to line it up. Now, this is where everybody has a difference of opinion. I just put a clip in it, but you can also do a quilt tack, and I'm going to show you a quilt tack a little later on in one of the other blocks. But we're just going to sew down. But if you're one of those people that loves to make sure that everything is perfectly lined up, do a quilt tack.
Rare.
Rare. Give me an L, give me an O, give me an R. All right. Now that I've been saying that,
You better line up.
It better line up. Perfect. All right. So now we're going to go and we are going to give it a press and ta-da! That's our block.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. All right. So now the next one we're going to do is a little bit more segmented, okay? First thing you need to do is you need to do some half square triangles. Okay, so I have my 2 fabrics that I'm going to work with. Okay, my yellow and my pink, peach, coral, I suppose. On one of them, you're going to draw a center line. So you don't need to do it to both sides, you just need to do it to one. Now, when you line this up, the goal is we're going to line the foot, so my 1/4 inch part of the foot, with the line. And we're going to sew down both sides. Now, they are going to mention that when you want to do this, you want to do a scant 1/4. And a scant 1/4 is, instead of the needle being in the center, I'm going to go one kind of click to the right. That way it's just a little less than a 1/4 of an inch.
It's a scant less.
There you go. All right, so we're going to line this up. All right, so we've done one side, and now we're going to go and we're going to line up and do the same on the other. All right. So that's what you're looking for. All right. We're going to cut. All right, so you're going to cut on the line. These poor little scissors need to see the sharpener. All right, so we've now cut them apart, and we're now going to go and we're going to press. Now, in the book, they want you to press the seam open, which does reduce the bulk a little bit. So we're going to take some time. We're going to actually get it so it is flat. Okay, so see how, and if you are coming from a clothing construction type of deal, it's, you know, kind of what they sew the seam, press it open. So that would be kind of a useful thing. And ta-da! We have our half squares. Now, with the half squares, though, they then want you to take, they made them a little bit bigger. So you want to come over and we're going to trim them down. And I was just checking. 3.5. Okay, so I have a ruler that has a center line. You see there's a center line there. So you're going to basically do 2 at a time. And I did this at home yesterday just fine. All right. Nope. Yeah, I'll get it. There you go. Perfect. Bingo. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So I'm looking for 3.5. So what I am doing, the center line is in between the 2 colors. That's 3.5, that dotted line. So basically, see how my block is just a smidge bigger. And I'm going to go and I'm going to do 2 sides for the cut. There you go. Then rotate it. So I've cut this and this. And then I'm going to line it up, line those 2 at the line in the center, and then you'll see how they're at 3.5. And then I'm just going to get the other bit out. And there's your 3.5.
Pretty.
It's nice. It's a nice way of getting it accurate without doing a lot of work. And it's not too hard to do, which is good because you got 48 of them to do if you're doing the lap size. And we're going to line this up here. So you're just really getting the slivers off. You're getting the dog ears off. And there we go. So nice looking block. Okay. Now, what's going to happen here for laying out this block is you have a center section which is going to have the print in the center, and then we're going to go and we're going to have it like so. So if you take a look, the peach is touching top and bottom. Now what's cool with this one on this side is it's exactly the same. All you do is you rotate it. So what we're looking for is that and that. Now, if you say, well, Pam, these are smaller, they're sewn, so you're good. All right, so now we're gonna go and do yourself a favor, don't twist them too much because you can get them going the wrong direction. Ask me how I know. My left and rights are never awesome. All right, so we're gonna sew. And then I always line it up again. Okay, so I open it up and I kind of want the seam going the same direction. And we're going to line this up and do the next all right. Now, whenever I was doing this, so I could get it staggered, so when I was working with it, I wanted the seams, you know, to be pressing opposite directions so I could snug them together. You want to press towards the solid. So we're going to jump over, and we're going to press that seam towards the solid.
As in a solidly cut block, not
Yeah, as
necessarily a
opposed to-
solid fabric.
Yes, I'm sorry. Solidly cut, no seam in it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So now, line it up again. Trust me. The more you line it up, the better it gets. Okay. Now this is where I will take and do my little tack. So again, you're going to start a couple of... Yay! Loretta's so happy. We're going to go do a couple. Okay, do a couple here. Okay, I'm just focusing on the two seams. And what's nice is if you make a boo-boo and they're not quite the way you wanted, you can adjust it now. All right, so you're going to take a look-see. If you find one, see how it's pooching a little bit? Okay, put the pooch down. Put the pooch down to the feed dogs. And that will help.
Always sew with a big bottom.
Always sew with a big bottom. And we're going to stitch. Looks good, okay? Remember, always put it back. It is so easy to get it twisted around, at least for me. So I take, again, line it up. Gotta make sure that they're butting together. Gonna put a pin in there to temporarily hold it for me. And same thing, we're just gonna scooch it forward. All right. Not bad. All right. Now again, take a look. Do we have an obvious poochie? Not really. So just plop it down and stitch. All right, and take a look. That is a spectacular block. Nice and cheery. Okay, so we're going to go and give it a press. And we're going to take... And I pressed my seams to the outside edge. And if you got any lumpy bumpies, I don't see that I have money on here. But if you did, remember a little bit of best press. Especially lavender scent. Too bad it's not smell-o-rami. You can't smell that. That's lovely. All right. Now, we're going to take and we're going to attach it to our row. So, started out, the row that we're doing is the last one for me. So I started with the star. You can see there's a star, block, 4-patch, star, then the 4-patch. So that's the last thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to put the star together. Now what's cool with this guy, it's a little different. When you line it up, there's really nothing to line up with one exception, the tip of the star. So that's where I actually did a little bit of a tack. The red will be so proud of me. I did a little bit of a tack where the star was, the star tip, just to make sure I would be coming in enough. And you know you've done it right if the star tip, you see how it's about a 1/4 inch? You know, if it was tucked and the star tip would be like too close to the edge, that's where you're going to cut off the tip of the star.
And in my own defense, I would flip that over and sew it from the other side.
Well, yes, you could, absolutely. But one of the things to be aware of, you're not going to get the X. You know, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to sew and I'm going to do the star and I'm going to have the X. You're not, because the seam's pressed open. So be aware. See on the other side?
Oh, gotcha. Oh, that totally makes sense. Hence the reason why the tack is.
You know,
You've done 11 other blocks.
I've done it 11 other blocks, yes. All right. And then see, to me, that looks great.
I'm just getting a bad reputation about the quilt tack thing. I was trying to defend myself, but never mind.
But yeah, again, remember on this one, you're not really going to see it because the seam's pressed open.
Because the seams are pressed open.
Yep. That's okay. I was all set when I was doing the quilt thinking, oh, I'll just flip it over and I'll look at the X. And I'm like, there's no X.
There's no X.
But that's the only really place you have to put the tack, because you'll see all the other seams, they don't match.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
But that point's beautiful.
I tell you. Now, the only other thing at this point, don't mess it up now. See how the flower is in the upper left-hand corner? Let's try to keep it that way.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so make sure it's rotated the proper direction. Again.
Ask you how you know. But that's really cool because it does make that beautiful print is going to chain from one corner of the quilt to the other corner of the quilt. because you're paying attention to that.
Yeah, where were you when I was thinking of that? There you go. All right, that one looks good. And then we're gonna.
And then the peach changed the opposite way.
There you go.
Like somebody designed it.
I
Pam.
know, right? Somebody thought about it. Who knew? All right. Now, at this point, we're going to attach to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, towards the pin, away, towards. This is going to be away from the pins.
Gotcha.
You'll notice I put pins on there, and why I put so many pins is it was the 6th row.
So
I put
there's
6
pins
pins.
in.
There you go. So I want to go away from the pins. So see how I put the pins at my right side?
Mm-hmm.
That way, when I hold it up and I'm pressing, it'll be going away from the pins. All right, that's going to be a smashing looking quilt. All right, so now we're just going to unpin this. All right, and so when we pop this on, I'm going to take a quick look. What's my up? There you go. All right, so now you do want to put some tacks in here. There's going to be your first tack, but there's only 3, which is kind of nice. This is 4, yes, 4 by 6, so that's going to be 24 blocks. Hence, 12 and 12.
They don't realize we're filming this in the morning. Don't make me do math in the morning.
And for me, don't make me do math at night, so it's all relative, isn't it?
So afternoon is the only time we can do math.
Only time we can do math. And it's a very specific time slot between 12 and 12:30. Thank you very much.
Gotcha.
All right, so we're going to line this up. Trying not to get it pivoted or twisted. Sorry, I don't know why I'm having such troubles with this. Give myself a little bit more room. All right. So at this point, again, do our tack. And I'll just do the 3 tacks going down and then go back and check. Whether you want to do that or check them individually, that's your big decision of the day. All right, so let's take a look-see. Not bad at all. All right. Good. Nothing I'm going to adjust or change. Now, same thing. You're going to look at it. Which side is pooching? A little bit more. That one actually looks pretty decent evenly. Now this one, you can see the yellow is pooching a little bit. So for that, I'll make sure I sew that side down. I'm going to line this up. Now, you can also do your quilt tacks. Remember to do the star point. And I'm just going to be a rebel.
Well, that's the payoff for being accurate all the way through.
Yeah.
The start tack is 1/4 of an inch from the edge, so.
Yeah, it shouldn't be any issue. Alrighty. And looks good. Alright, give it a press. Alrighty. So let me hold this up so you can take a look-see. This is what, without the borders.
Beautiful. And that could be just, you wouldn't have to put the borders on.
Yeah, if you were going for like a modern quilt, you're done. However, this guy has, let's go over here, it has 2 borders that we're going to be stitching on. And I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to just lay it out. And it's going to end up being 1.5 inches for the first border. So it's going to end up being just like a 1 inch. And then it has the print. Isn't that going to be sharp?
Oh, yeah. That print is spectacular.
Isn't that gorgeous? All right, and that's what it will look like with the borders. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you next time.